Hello, all you sonic sorcerers and tone whisperers, and welcome to the very first podcast of The Sound Sculptor. I'm Jeff at Journey Productions, and I am a sound sculptor. A sound sculpture is a sculpture that emits or evokes sound. And a sound sculptor is usually thought of as an artist who creates sound sculptures. Webster's dictionary defines sculpting as the art of processing hard material into a work of art. Now, I want to challenge that definition as being too narrow. Without too much of a struggle, we can expand that definition to include materials that are not hard. At the beach, for example, we create sculptures out of sand. There are molds to create interesting jello sculptures. Sound waves can be shaped into interesting sound sculptures too. Composers, musicians, producers, audio engineers are all sound sculptors. We sculpt audio every time we create and record a musical riff and then mix it into a finished piece of music. It's a new twist on the phrase, but I think it's a well-deserved one. I want to mention that I'm not the first one to link sound sculpting and music. There are a couple of companies out there that already use this phrase. SoundSculptor.net, for example, is a manufacturer of high-quality audio switching systems and MIDI devices. And Sound Sculptor, with a K, produces do-it-yourself audio kits that allow you to create your own amazing recording gear. But I'm using it to define the process of creating music and sound. And that process is what I want to focus on in this series of videos and at my website, www.thesoundsculptor.com. I'm going to be focusing on three interrelated areas of audio: sound recording, field recording, and sampling. Sound recording, of course, is the process of turning musical ideas into finished pieces of art. Although a professional recording studio, it's like an amusement park with all the best rides. But I'm going to focus on the home recording studio, because that's where most of us are going to be spending most of our time. Now, I'll tell you exactly what you need to know to set up a kick-ass home studio, and I'll tell you how to use it effectively to make the greatest music. Now, a home studio is not an overwhelming thing. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg to set one up. With less effort than you might imagine, you'll be pulling out those creative little ditties floating around in your brain and mixing them down into finished pieces of art. Even if you don't play an instrument well or at all, there are easy ways to plug in and get those ideas out. As we move forward, I'll tell you the absolute necessities you need to have, and then the not-so-necessary things you will want to have as you grow. I'll give you tips and tricks on how to use the tools in your studio to get amazing sounds and make professional recordings. The next topic I will be covering is field recording. One of my favorite things to do is to get out of the house, get out of the studio, go out into nature, and bring my field recording kit with me, and recording sounds of babbling brooks and pebbles and rocks falling down chasms, making all kinds of echoey sounds, and human sounds, jackhammers, sounds of birds and all kinds of interesting animals. It's all just amazing. And, some people like to leave those recordings pristine and pure, and that's fine. I've listened to many recordings of Amazon rainforests and ocean waves to help me get to sleep. I've enjoyed listening to recordings of long-lost tribal dances and historical speeches. There are plenty of field recordings that should be left alone. But that's not what I do. Years ago at Unique Recording Studios in New York City, I worked with Bobby Nathan to create some of the first samples ever made in the world of music and recording. We gathered audio from a variety of different locations around the city and mangled and warped and blended them together until we had a really cool library of samples that we used to create brand new sounds. When I set out to record ambient sounds, I do it with the intention of bringing them back into the studio and creating awesome samples that I can then use to create music. So I'll be covering how to get an audio clip into your workstation and bring it up in a sampler. Then I will show you different ways to turn those clips into amazing samples, which can be used to make ridiculous kick drums and snares, hi-hats, pads, leads, an infinite number of other possibilities to use in your recordings or live in concert. I should also mention that there is a third thing that I would like to bring in. As you can probably tell, I'm no spring chicken. I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of things. I left the music business to raise a beautiful family. And now I've retired and I've returned to my passion. So I want to throw a shout out to all those folks who are around the same age as me who, for one reason or another, left music to do other things. To all the creative artists who played music back in the day but found that the responsibility of raising a family left little time for music making. Or to the people who decided to follow the money trail of big business and then later in life discovered that making music was much more satisfying. Many of these folks don't know how to get back into making music in today's digital, social media saturated environment. I want to reach out to these artists. In some of my videos, I'm going to talk about how to get back into the world of creativity. It is imperative that these people continue to make music, not only to feed and nourish their souls, but to provide music that draws from years of experience. Most music is written and performed by young people, and that's great. Love and angst and the passion of youth are the foundation of most of the greatest music ever written. But like a fine wine, older musicians and songwriters bring a depth and a nuance that younger artists just haven't had a chance to mature into yet. Combined with their early years of music making, the music comes out in complex and unique ways. And this then provides more of a musical choice for listeners. And that can only be a good thing, right? Okay, so as you can probably tell, I'm new to recording videos. I originally wanted to do a podcast, but I realized that all of the tips and tricks I want to show you in the studio and the fun of going out on a field recording adventure could only be accomplished with video. So, besides my sultry voice, you are now also going to be subjected to my roguishly handsome face. All right, stop. That was a joke. What I'm trying to say is that I need input from all of you. I don't want this to be a one-way street. These videos will work best, and my website, www.thesoundsculptor.com, will only work best if you get involved. By that I mean the use of the contact form on the website to send me comments and suggestions and ideas, questions, or even just a hello. I will look at every single one of them and will include them in upcoming episodes or include them on my website. So I am hoping that this will become a collaboration between all of the wonderful creative folks listening to provide the best, the most creative, outrageous, out-of-the-box ideas and solutions to help us be the best musicians, engineers, producers, field recorders, samplers, and general audio geeks that we can be. TheSoundSculptor.com, my website, is a work in progress. It's kind of empty right now, not a lot, but that will be changing soon. It's going to be filled with stuff. I'll be adding more content, more links, more graphics, more notes from all of you, your suggestions and ideas. As the days go by, it's going to get richer and richer and richer. But meanwhile, please go out to the site and send me any ideas and comments on what you would like to see there or what you would like to hear on these video episodes. Or just go out and send me a hello and welcome. I look forward to creating a space where I can provide helpful information on home studios, recordings, creating great samples from natural sounds, and making amazing music. Look forward to seeing you again, and I'll be coming your way again soon. See ya.